The Egyptian people developed this ziggurat temple to the pyramid. According to the Bible, the Hebrew think this huge developed ziggurat temple as a Babel Tower. Okay. This ziggurat temple told us that the big power of their rulers and the religions. This ziggurat tells us that the ancient religions and the ancient politics were inseparable in the ancient Mesopotamia. There are 4 learning objectives. First, regarding the main characteristics of early West Asia societies. Number 2, civilizations of early Northern Africa, especially the Egyptian civilizations. Number 3, we will review the main Phoenician contributions and connection in the Mediterranean Sea. Number 4, we will review the evolutions of the Jewish concept of monotheism. Okay, this slide shows the location of early West Asian and North African societies. Mesopotamian societies, Phoenician societies, established the culture, okay, and Egyptian societies. Okay, the contents of this chapter describe the early societies of West Asia and North Africa to 500 BCE. 4 contents. Section 1, Early West Asian societies. Section 2, Early Northeast African societies. Section 3, West Asia and the North Africa, the Phoenician connections. Section 4, the Israelite and their God. Section 1, Early West Asian societies. Overview. The civilizations of West Asia were emerged from the settled agricultural communities near the Tigris rivers and Euphrates rivers. From around 9000 BCE, they found and spread far into the West Asia, and this farm led to the complex societies. And developed the Mesopotamian civilizations. The first state in the world was the Sumerian city-state. Sumerian city-state was first appeared in the Mesopotamian civilizations. After the Sumerian city-state, the Akkadian King Sargon conquered the Sumer around 2300 BC, and King Sargon established the world's first dynastic empire, the Akkadian Empire. The subsequent conquerors of Mesopotamian civilization, such as the next conqueror is the Babylonians, next conqueror is Hittite, next conqueror is Assyrian, added their own cultural, political, and social elements to West civilizations. Okay, topic 1. The early Mesopotamia. The early Mesopotamia starts with the city-state of Sumer. The emergence of towns and cities in Mesopotamia was the Sumerian city-state. The fertile farmland were the most important to rise of Mesopotamia. Villages grew into the town. Towns grew into the cities. The Sumerians first built military cities such as the city of Ur, city of Uruk, city of Lagash, city of Ummas around 3500 BC. Modern Iraq name was come from city-state of Uruk. These city-states developed a unique Sumerian cultures. Relationship among these Sumerian city-state was characterized by connections and the conflict between Sumerian city-state, often in the conflict with each other. The city-state, Sumerian city-state, was nevertheless tied by a shared culture and the shared commerce. This map shows the complex societies emerged in West Asia and Northeast Africa by 3000 BCE. This thick color area represents the Egyptian culture. The green color area represented the Mesopotamian culture. This dotted line area represent the areas of connections and overlapping influence between the Mesopotamia and Egypt. This slide shows the Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu, who are defeating the lions. The Gilgamesh was the king of Sumerian city-state of Uru. And the king of Gilgamesh, Sumerian king Gilgamesh wanted to become immortal. According to the story, the Gilgamesh was a part of God and part of man. This story tells a great deal about Mesopotamian belief. King was son of God. The king was the ruler of the land in the ancient Mesopotamia. Sumerian religion and worldview. This epic of Gilgamesh tells us about Mesopotamian beliefs. And these ziggurat temple tell us that the Sumerian religions and Sumerian politics were inseparable in ancient Mesopotamia. Sumerian had polytheistic regions. The commerce, innovations, and cuneiform writing. The Sumerian produced, developed thousands of years ago, and Sumerian built civilizations. These Sumerian civilizations was just like the ancient equivalent of today current Silicon Valley. Sumerian invented sailboat, chariot, wheel, plow, metallurgy. Okay? Therefore, Sumerians start the Iron Ages from the Bronze Ages. Flour, metal flour is a vital technology in the farming. Chariot is vital for fighting against the enemy. Sailboat, chariot, wheel are very, very important instruments, weapons for fighting the enemy. They invented and used a system of mathematics. This mathematics based on the number of 60. They invented lunar calendar. And they developed wedge-shaped cuneiform. This wedge-shaped cuneiform was the first system of writing in the world. This slide shows the cuneiform writing. Sumerian cuneiform writing. Worst, the first known written language in the world. The alphabet, worst, current alphabet, worst, the modification of these Sumerian cuneiform writings. Okay, next conqueror was the Akkadian. The Akkadian conquest of Mesopotamia around 2300 before Common Era. The Akkad, who is the Akkad? Akkad was a northern division of ancient Babylonia. The Akkad is a Semitic people who lived in the northern part of the Babylonia, current Iraq. Today, Iraq, northern part of Iraq was called as Akkad. The Akkadian king Sargon conquered city-state of Zuma around 2300 before Common Era. Sargon the Great adopted and spread Sumerian culture such as the calendar, writing system, computation method to the broad region such as Levant, Anatolia, Arabian Peninsula. Levant consists of two parts: Palestine, Canaan, Anatolia was Asia Minor, current the Turk, Arabian Peninsula, current Saudi Arabia. Subsequent conquerors, Babylonians, in the European Hittite, Assyrians added their own cultural, political, and social elements to the West Asian civilizations. This map shows the Akkadian Empire unified the Mesopotamia in 24th century BCE. This green area represents the Akkadian Empire. Akkadian Empire includes the Sumer, Assyria, and the Nineveh, Babylon, Fertile Crescent. Okay. Third conqueror was the Babylonian. Who is the Babylonian? The Amorite was called as a Babylonian, all the Babylonians. The Amorite, another Semitic group, gained control of most of the Mesopotamian area during 1900 to 1600 BC. Babylonian embraced many aspects of Sumerian societies because Sumerian and the Amorite same races. Hamorite was the ruler of Babylon. According Hammurabi's code was known as the first law in the world. According to Hammurabi's code, the marriage is a contractual in the civil law, and under the criminal law, the Hammurabi's code is based on the idea that the punishment should fit the crime. One people punished, the other people also punished, same level. That is Hammurabi's concept. According to the Hammurabi's code, marriage is a contractual. Therefore, it is customary for the bride's family to pay the money to the husband for the wedding. This custom has rooted in ancient practice of bride's family. A lot of burden for the bride's family, because the bride's family supply the money, supply the dowry to the husband. The woman has a limited right under the Hammurabi's code. Hammurabi's is known for important building project. He built new canals, new first aqueducts, built temples throughout the land. Okay. Third conqueror of Babylonian was the Indo-European Hittite group. Before you learn the conqueror Hittite empire, you must learn the origin of the Hittite. Hittite is very, very complicated. In the European, also Aryan. Hitler told that Aryan is the most intelligent race in the world. They call the Indo-Europeans or Aryans are the Caucasian. The Indo-European people originally come from the Ukraine steppes near the Black Sea. Ukraine steppe include the eastern part of Ukraine and the southern part of Russia. These the Europeans lived in the tribes, in the form of tribe, and spoke in the Europeans. Today, almost 80% of world language are the family of the Indo-European language. language. English, German language, French language, Spain language, or the version of this in the European language. Therefore, you need to learn the origins of in the European language and in the European peoples. In the European peoples connected the region by spreading their in the European language and spread their cultures. In the European world, the nomadic people searching for the animals, for the food. They were nomadic people who tamed horses and rode chariot. And in the European, developed the technology of iron melting. This development of the iron chariot and domestications of horse lead to the change in the warfare and travel. They immigrated from the Ukrainian steppes to the Europe, to the India, spread to the Anatolia, Asia Minor, and mixed with people. They already lived there during 3,000 to 1,000 before Common Era. They left their homeland of Ukrainian steppe because of wars and changes within their environments. Okay, this map shows in the European migrations connect the Eurasian society during 3000 to 1000 BCE. Okay, this red area was the homeland of in the Europeans. Okay, homeland of in the Europeans was the Black Sea, current Ukraine steppe, and they migrated into the Europe, into the Anatolia, into the Iranian plateau, and mixed with the native people that already lived there. These in the European peoples left their home base because of wars and changes within their environments, especially in the European people who immigrate to the Anatolia was called as the Hittite people. These Hittite people conquered the Mesopotamian kingdom. Okay? These Hittite people destroyed the Babylonian. Okay? Okay. Okay. This slide shows the homeland of in the Europeans, current, especially Ukraine. in the European originally located on the Dnieper River. This Dnieper River is the third longest river in the Europe. Before the Ukrainian and the Russians, this area was originally occupied by various tribes such as the Finnish, today Finland tribe, Turkey tribe, Caucasian tribe, and some other nomadic native tribes. Okay? Ukraine, Russia are the invaders from the 7th century AD. Therefore, Ukrainian people, Russian people are not the ancestor of the Indo-European people. Do not confuse. Okay. Okay, number 4, conqueror is the Hittite Empire. Hittite? One more, I told you, because very important. In the European, immigrants who settled in Anatolia, Hittite originate from area beyond the Black Sea, found their country in the central Anatolia and conquered Babylon with their iron weapons. Hattusa was the capital city of the Hittite Empire. These nomadic immigrants adopt the Sumerian and Babylonian civilizations. And these Hittite people bring a new technology, new iron technology to Mesopotamia. They show how to extract iron from the ore. And this iron technology is used to create the strong weapons, to create the sharp weapons, to create hard weapons with a very, very cost efficiently. Okay? Hittite Empire centered on agriculture and welfare. Society is a very, very hierarchical and patriarchal. Okay, this map 4 shows Hittite connections and conflict during 1600 to 1200 BCE. This pink area represented the Hittite Empire. This dark brown area represented the Egyptian culture. This dotted line area represented the area of conflict and the connection between Hittite and the Egyptians. This connection area include the Phoenician, Palestine, and Syria. This area was called as a Levant. Levant is a Greek name. The region of rising sun was Levant in the Greek name. Okay. The number 5 conqueror was on Assyria. Assyria. Who is Assyria? Assyria is a Semitic people, ancient Semitic people who live in the Assur city of state, Assur city state. This Assur city state is located currently in the northern Iraq. These Athenian people dominated and controlled the West Asia. However, the Assyrian controlled their conquered enemies by torture and by terrorizations. The Assyrian destroyed the kingdom of Israel. The city of Nineveh was the capital city of the Assyrian. Assyrian Empire was destroyed 605 BCE by the Chaldean people, New Babylonian people. Number 6 conqueror was the Chaldean, or Chaldean is also called as a New Babylonian because Chaldean is the same ancient Semitic people, Sumerian people, Chaldean people, Akkadian people, same Semitic people, and Chaldean control the south Babylonian, Assyrian control the north Babylonian, and conquered all the Babylonian and the Levant area and the Egypt area. Therefore, the Chaldeans was called as the New Babylonians. These Chaldean people allied with Medes. Who is Medes? Medes is currently Iranian people. Today, Iranian people was called as Medes in the ancient period. The Chaldean allied with the Medes, and destroy the Assyrian Empire and conquer the West, all the West Asia, especially the king of Chaldea, the king of New Babylonia, Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar destroyed almost all of the Babylonian greatness, and Nebuchadnezzar told that his territory as a New Babylonia. Especially Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the kingdom of Judah and the slave make the king of Judah as his slave. However, Persian Empire conquered the Chaldean Empire around 6th century BCE. This map shows the Assyrian Empire and the Chaldean or New Babylonian Empire during 9th century through the 6th century BCE. This green color, green area represents broad Assyrian Empire. This red dotted line area represented the Chaldean Empire or New Babylonian Empire around 508 BCE. Especially Assyria spread their territory into the Egypt and expand their territory into the Iranian plateau. Okay, section 2. The early Northeast African societies. Overview. The African territory was very, very big size. The early African societies, therefore, the early African societies was varied, changed as the continents, geography, and the variety of climate. Between 10,000 and 5,000 BC, North Africa was covered by grassland, and North Africa was home to animal herding and farming societies. However, from the 5,000 BC, this grassland was retreated and the populations immigrated and concentrated near Nile Valley and Nile River, searching for the water. In sub-Saharan Africa, the Bantu migrations, Bantu dominated all the area of sub-Saharan Africa. The Bantu speaking people spread their agriculture, their iron working, and spread their language. all of the sub-Saharan African societies. In the Northeast Africa, the earliest complex societies was emerging, such as Egypt, Nubia, Kingdom of Kush, Kingdom of Meroe. Towns and villages along the Nile River merged into the small kingdom. These merged small kingdom eventually organized into the Egyptian Empire. Under the south of Egypt, the Nubian people create a number of important kingdoms, such as the Kingdom of Kush, Kingdom of Meroe. Nubia is divided into two parts today, Egypt and Sudan. Okay, this map shows the African environment and spread of farming and animal herding. Second millennium BCE through first millennium CE. Long history. This brown color represent the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert is the world's largest desert. This Sahara Desert divides the continent, African continent, into North Africa in sub-Saharan Africa. But then two speaking tribes, dotted line, dominate most of sub-Saharan Africa. Bantu speaking people spread their culture, iron-making, and their language into the eastern part of North and eastern part of the Africa. Okay? Okay, section 1. Sub-Saharan African societies. Okay, I told you again. Sub-Saharan Africa was divided into 4 parts. West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, Central Africa, West Africa, and Southern Africa. By 9000 BCE, they begin to domesticate the animal. Domesticated first wild cattle, and then first the sheep and the goat. Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa contains a large number of major regions. Among these large number of major regions, the Bantu speaking tribes dominated the most of sub-Saharan Africa. During 1000 BC, Bantu tribe begin to move to the south, begin to move to the east, to the Egypt, to the Nubia. 1/4 of all languages in the world are spoken in this Africa, and 5 of major language families are located in the sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. First, civilization. Early Nile Valley civilizations. Egypt. Geography. The Nile River dominates the Egyptian world, dominate the Egyptian thought, Egyptian belief, Egyptian religions. The Egypt was surrounded by desert with occasional oases. Therefore, these good location permit the Egypt some trade, provide the Egypt the defense from outside invaders, and contributes the Egyptian people the feeling of safety because do not worry about the outside invaders. And this safe feeling preserve a lot of artifacts. Therefore, too many artifacts are remained currently. Okay? Okay. This map is featured by satellite. According to the Herodotus, Egypt was the gift of the Nile River. Okay, this dark green color represents the old kingdom. Light green represent the middle kingdom. White, the color represent the new kingdom. New kingdom spread their territory into the Nubia. Okay, expand and expand. During the Middle Kingdom, the Hyksos people, the Anatolian people, Semitic people invade the Middle Kingdom and destroy the Middle Kingdom. Okay. Egyptian culture and society. Egyptian people farm and herding. Towns and villages along the Nile River unite to form small kingdoms. Starting around 5500 years BCE, there are two major kingdoms, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. These two major kingdoms developed along the Nile River. The historian told us that the Egypt had three great kingdoms, Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, with the long period of stability, with interruption periodically by intermediate period. Egyptian believe, religion and worldview believe in the prospect of life after the death. Mayat is an ancient Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, harmony, and balance. Mayat represents stability. Mayat stabilized the Egyptian territory. The Pharaoh, king of Egypt, was called as a Pharaoh. Pharaoh was believed as the living son of God. Pharaoh was a living son of God. Mummification. Mummification is preserving the dead body by making it into the mummy. Because they reborn again in the afterlife. This slide shows a part of Nile River. Nile River impact on religions. Egyptian religion divided life into two parts, a living part and dying part. East or sunrise of Nile River is a land of living. Therefore, the cities and temples were built on the east side of the Nile River. West sunset part is a land of the dead. Therefore, the tombs, the pyramid were built on the west side of the Nile River. Egyptian culture and society, hieroglyphic writing and other innovations. Hieroglyphic is a sacred writings. Hieroglyphic writing is used in the temple. The hieroglyphic is pictures and symbols that serve as a first written language in the world. Egyptian write the sentences on papyruses. And the Egyptian developed the calendars in the 4241 BC with 365 days in a year based on the flooding of the Nile River. However, New Year's was on June 1st, not January 1st. Okay? Egyptian daily life focused on the family and the farming. Marriage is a polygynous. Egyptian marriage was a polygyny. What is the meaning of polygyny? Polygyny means the husband has more than one wife. And the matrilineal families. Material families means that kinship relationship passed only through the mother line or only through the female line because the father has a lot of wives. Therefore, the children can know his or her mother but cannot know the exact his or her father. This slide shows hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics was the pictures and symbols that served as one of the first written language in the world. The language is written without vowels. Hieroglyphics do not have vowels. Hieroglyphics has only 21 noun vowels. Therefore, the different pronunciations, because do not have vowels. Hieroglyphics was used in the temples. Therefore, hieroglyphics were sacred languages. These hieroglyphics were discovered written in Rosetta Stone. This Rosetta Stone was discovered. This map slide shows the decorated wooden mummy cases used for the remains of the ancient Egyptian woman. Mummy is a dead body which is preserved long ago by being laved with special oils and wrapped in cloths. There are 70 steps to make a mummy. Okay? Mummy, 4 types. Inner coffin, outer cover, second inner coffin, second inner coffin reed. Okay, next topic, Kingdom of Egypt. First kingdom, first period of Egypt was called as Archaic period. Before the Archaic period, there are too many small kingdoms in the upper Egypt and the lower Egypt. However, the legendary king Namur first unified Upper Egypt and the Lower Egypt. The king Namur established divine kingship and dynastic rules. All the kingdom developed hieroglyphics and religions and built the pyramids. Middle kingdom extended the Egypt territory into the Nubia. During the Middle Kingdoms, the Anatolian nomadic Asian people Hyksos invade and conquer the Middle Kingdom. This map shows the Egyptian kingdom and imperial expansions from 2300 to 1075 BCE. This red color shows the Old Kingdom and Middle Kingdom. This purple color represents the Hittite Empire. This brown color represents the expansion of Egypt during the New Kingdom. During the New Kingdom, the pharaoh expanded the Egyptian territory to the Nubia and to the west and to the Levant area. Okay, this map shows the Middle Kingdom invasion of the Sea people and Hittite Empire during the Middle Kingdom. Okay? The Great Pyramid. There are about 8 pyramids along the banks of the Nile River. The largest pyramid is a Great Pyramid. This Great Pyramid was built by King Khufu in around 2600 BCE. This pyramid function was huge burial tombs for Egyptian dead pharaohs and dead queens. why the Egypt built this pyramid. The Egyptian people believe in the afterlife. This belief in the afterlife demanded the bodies be interred, be buried whole, and demanded material goods for use in the afterlife must be present in the pyramid, in the tomb. The need to protect the bodies demand good burial tombs. There are 3 types of tombs in the Egypt. The first tomb was the mastabers. Second type of tomb is a pyramid. Third type of tomb was hidden tombs. New Kingdom. The king Amos first defeated the Hyksos, invading Hyksos, and reunified all of the Egyptian territory under one ruler. This begins the period, started the period of a new kingdom. Thaumasis was the first king to claim the title of Pharaoh as a son of God. The monotheism was established under the Pharaoh Amenhotep and female pharaoh Nefertiti. Amos first enslaved Hebrews, captured Hebrews, and bring the Hebrews into the Egyptian territory. Ramses II the Great expanded into southern Turkey. However, Ramses III fought many battles, including invasion by Thief people from Aegean Sea and tribesmen from Libya. These wars, combined with the severe drought and severe famine, caused the fall of the Egypt. After this demolition of the New Kingdom, after the New Kingdom, the period is called as the Fourth Imperial Period, Third Intermediate Period. After the collapse of the Egyptian Empire and political fragmentations of a country, a number of dynasties of Libya origins controlled. In 1090 BC, Egypt lost control of the dominions in Nubia. Okay? In 332 BC, Macedonian ruler Alexander conquered the Egypt. Okay, this slide shows the statue of Ramses II at our symbols. During his reign as Pharaoh, Ramses II led the Egyptian army against several enemies, including Hittites, Syrians, Libyans, Nubians. He expanded Egyptian empire and secured his Egyptian board against these attackers. He expanded his territory into the southern Turkey. Okay, Nubia, Kush, and Meroe, Fourth Imperial Period. Nubia is located under the south of Egypt, along the upper Nile. Nubia means the gold And the Nubian name is come from the Na. Egypt people called the slave as a Na. Okay? Nubia was a gateway to the riches of Africa, and goods like gold, copper, ivory, animals flowed through it. Nubia created a number of important states, such as the Kingdom of Kush. Nubia created the Kingdom of Kush, Kingdom of Meroe. Kush, Kingdom of Kush. Nubia connected Egypt with the African interior. Egypt dominated the northern Nubia, and the Kingdom of Kush controlled the southern Nubia. Southern Nubia is today the modern Sudan. Today, Nubia is divided into two parts, Egypt and Sudan. Okay, this map shows the Egypt, Kush, and Meroe, the second and first millennia BCE. This blue dot line represented Egypt, Kingdom of Egypt. This dark green dot line represented the Kingdom of Kush. This brown dotted line represented the Kingdom of Meroe. Okay, therefore, east side of the Africa consists of three kingdoms: Kingdom of Egypt, Kingdom of Kush, Kingdom of Meroe. Kingdom of Meroe. Meroe was located across the major trade route and flourished. Okay, Meroe exported gold, ivory, iron, and other products of African interior to the Egypt. Meroe exported gold, iron to the Egypt, and Meroe also provided Egypt with a lot of African slaves. Main industry of Kingdom of Meroe was iron smelting, making of iron tools, iron weapons, iron implements. Sub-Saharan African society began to expand its territory to the east, began to migrate to the equatorial savannas and the forest. Bantu migration spread their agriculture, iron making, and their language into the Egypt and to the Nubia. This slide shows the Nubians who is bringing the gift to the Egyptian pharaoh. Okay, section 3, West Asia and North Africa, the Phoenician connections. Overview. The commercial maritime empire of Phoenicians connected West Asia, Anatolia, today Turkey, with North Africa, Egypt, and Western Mediterranean, Europe. Phoenician alphabet was used throughout Mediterranean and used throughout West Asia. And this Phoenician alphabet created the base for the modern alphabet. Phoenician alphabet has only 22 vowels. Okay? The Phoenicians established many commercial centers for their trade settlement. 6 Phoenician colonies was established along the coast of the present-day Morocco. One of 6 commercial centers established by Phoenician was the Carthage Center. The Carthage came to dominate the Western Mediterranean. The Carthage station was founded in 9th century BC as a Phoenician settlement in order to facilitate the trade for the Phoenician city of Tyre. Tyre people established Carthage, okay, for their own trading purposes. Okay, Phoenician commercial empire. Okay, I already told you the commercial maritime empire of Phoenicians connected West Asia with North Africa and Western Mediterranean. Especially the Carthage is a rival for the Roman Empire. Okay, Phoenician created the new alphabet. Okay, Phoenician alphabet consists of 22 characters with vowels, that vowels built into the symbols. This Phoenician alphabet is used throughout the Mediterranean and West Asia, and this Phoenician alphabet is very, very important because Phoenician alphabet is the basis for creating a modern English, modern alphabet. Carthage was founded about 800 BC by Phoenician traders. Carthage grew into the empire dominating North Africa and Mediterranean. And the Roman Empire think that the Carthage is the most threatful enemy, okay, for the Roman Empire. Okay. This map shows the Phoenician and Carthaginian colleges from 12th century through 2nd century BCE. This pink area represents the Phoenician and the Carthage colonies. This city of Tyre established Carthage for their commercial purposes. However, Carthage grew into the big empire afterwards. Right map shows the Phoenician territory. Phoenician has a lot of important the harbor city. Among these important harbor city, the most important harbor city is Tyre. Tyre established this Carthage center. This Phoenician is referred as the Upper Levant, Northern Levant. Southern Levant is referred is a Phoenician, Canaan. Okay, number 4. The Israelite and their God. Overview. The Hebrews developed monotheistic basis. These Hebrews monotheistic base divide the religion, divide into 3 religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Hebrew developed a vision of divine that was different than that of their neighbors. Their neighbors has polytheistic basis. However, Hebrews has a monotheistic basis, different between Hebrew and Hebrews' neighbors. The children of Israel, according to the Bible, Jacob was given the name Israel. Therefore, Jacob's descendants were known as the Israelite. Jacob's 12 sons became the heads of their own family group. This family group is later known as 12 tribes of Israel. According to the Bible, Hebrew is an ethnic group claiming descent from the Jacob. The Israelites in Palestine. What is the Palestine? Where did the Palestine come from? Where is the Palestine area? What is the Palestine race? The Palestine, the Greek name was Canaan. Why? The Palestine was a people of Asian origin. East side of Greece was an Aegean Sea. Asian origin people settled in the coast of Levant in the 12th century BC. Levant divided into Upper Levant, Lower Levant. Upper Levant is a Phoenician. Lower Levant is a Palestine and Canaan and okay, the Levant today Lebanon's name of Lebanon come from the Levant. Okay. This Palestine area was former British mandatory territory created by League of Nations in 1922. According to the Bible, the Canaan verse believed as a promised land of Israelite. Formation of a kingdom. The Israelite unification was motivated by the need for the defense, outside defense. Hebrew king Saul unified the Israelite, but Saul cannot defeat the Philistine. This kingdom of Israel spread into two parts. After the death of King Solomon, kingdom of Hebrew was divided into two parts. In northern part, kingdom of Israel. In southern part, kingdom of Judah. The dispersion and exile. The Jewish diaspora or exile refers to the dispersion of Israelites or Jews out of their homeland and their subsequent settlement in other parts of the world. The Persian Empire, after the new Babylonian, allowed the Hebrews to return to the Jerusalem and allowed to rebuild their temple following their Babylonian exile. Okay, this map shows the Israelites and their neighbors from 12th century through 8th century BCE. Israel's neighbor, Egypt, Canaan, Assyria, Babylonia, all contributed to the Israel history of Israel from its origin history through Babylonian exile and beyond period. This brown color area represented the Phoenicians. The right the dark pink color represented the kingdom of Israel. The light pink color area represents the kingdom of Judah. And the green color represents the Philistine. Okay, the God of Israel. Israelites developed their distinctive faces. The national God of the Iron Ages kingdom of Israel and Judah were the Yahweh. Jewish monotheism. Hebrew developed the monotheistic basis. This monotheistic base served as a basis for some of the world's most influential religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Hebrew developed a vision of divine that was different than that of their neighbors. God is understood as an absolute one, as an indivisible being, as an incomparable being, who is the ultimate cause of or existence in the world. Okay, this slide shows the keynote and development of West Asia. Sumerian city-state was established in Lower Mesopotamia during 3500 to 3550 BCE. In the European, people immigrate into Anatolia during 3000 to 1000 BCE. Empire Akkad was the first empire in the world in Mesopotamia. Okay, during the 2100 BCE, Sumerian again dominated the lower Mesopotamia part. Okay, this control was called as Old Babylonia, and New Babylonia ruled in Mesopotamia. Okay, during 1900 to 1600 BCE. Okay, the Hittite dominated Anatolia. Hittite, the nomadic people from the Ukraine state, dominated Anatolia. Okay, and established empire. Phoenician first in East Mediterranean during 11th to 9th century BCE. Assyrian dominated West Asia during 10th to 7th century BCE. Chaldeans dominated, New Babylonian dominated during the 7th and 6th centuries. New Babylonian destroyed Israel and captured the Israel king and made the slave. Babylonian captured the Hebrews during 586 to 539 BCE. Persian dominated West Asia from 6th to 4th century BCE. Okay, towns, villages along Nile River united to form the small king. Before the Archaic period, the king Amasa unified the Upper Egypt and the Lower Egypt. All the kingdom built the pyramid, and the Middle Kingdom was started from 2050 years BCE. Okay. Hyksos destroyed the Middle Kingdom during 1700 years. Hebrews leaves Egypt. Egypt ruled the Libyan. Libyan ruled the Egypt. Kingdom of Kush, Nubian people, control and rule the Egypt. At this time, Nubian people, black people, first became the cattle of Egypt. Okay, Assyrian invaded Egypt from the 7th century BCE. Carthage flourished in Eastern Mediterranean from 7th to 3rd century BCE. Persian dominated Egypt from 6th to 4th centuries. The kingdom of Meroe producing along Upper Nile from 6th century to 4th century.